Hey everybody, this is Andrew Benjamin of MMA Sucker. With us we have Trenton Beston, who will be taking on Corey Galinsky, January 18th, Throne MMA at Spirit Lake Casino in North Dakota. Tickets are available now, and there is possibility of it being on pay-per-view, hopefully. Trenton, I appreciate you talking to me about your second fight coming up. Thank you so much.
Yep.
So tell us, how did you get into MMA? What made you want to go into this crazy sport?
Oh, I mean, it's been a dream of mine for ever since I can remember. Mother wouldn't let me do it when I was a younger kid. My buddy Eddie here, I grew up with him. He, messaged me a couple times seeing if I want to hop in the cage. Finally, I was like, you know what, let's do it. I can finally live the dream that I've always wanted to live,
Mm-hmm. So this is your second amateur fight.
Yes.
Your first amateur fight, they always say you don't lose, you learn. What did you learn from your first amateur fight?
What did I learn? I learned from my first fight that you knock your opponent down, you get on top of them, no questions asked. I also learned that I can do better on my wrestling game,
But also, what about nerves?
Nerves, oh yeah. Nervous. I'm nervous for this fight even. I don't think that's ever going to leave. It's just it's natural feeling,
So your opponent is a change in your opponent, actually. You had a different opponent. How long ago? When did the opponent change happen?
The opponent change happened about a week ago. I was notified about it.
How do you feel about that? Is it kind of like, shit, I have to retool my game plan, or is it kind of just?
No, I really wasn't focusing on anybody's game plan but my own. It did kind of mess up because I did do, my homework on that Jaden, but it doesn't really mess with my game plan. No, I'm gonna go in there and do what I gotta do.
Now I do know you did talk about. You probably tried doing homework on your new opponent. Not a lot about him, but if there's anything you know about him, is there anything that you can say about him?
There's nothing that I know about him. No background. I don't know nothing about the guy.
So with this fight coming up, what is it? You want to get a win, but is there anything that you want to showcase in this fight versus your first one?
In this one, I would like to showcase my wrestling. If it gets to that point, I'm gonna try to keep it on the feet as long as I can. But I would like to showcase some of the wrestling techniques I learned. Just see what I got on the ground.
Now, after this fight, are you going to be, goes your way? Are you looking to fight again this year, or?
Yep, actually, after this fight, I have one lined up for April 26th, I believe it is, in Belgrade here for the final fights.
Okay, gotcha. Do you ideally want to get 2 or 3 fights a year and then go pro? Do you have do you even have aspirations for pro eventually?
Yep, actually, I would like to be pro by the end of this year.
Okay. And then once you go pro, are you going to set your sights on I guess more bigger regional like LFA or King of the Cage, CFFC?
Yep, I've been thinking, I'd fight around here, fight around home for a little bit, and then check out other promotions, see what there's out there, what they're offering out there, and chase that, I do want to make the UFC one day, and that would be, that's my dream, so.
So I guess a lot of people don't understand when you probably tell them that you fight MMA, you train MMA, they probably make you like why would you want to do that? You get punched in the face, you get choked out, you get bones broken maybe. How would you convince someone that this is something that is a passion for me? What is it that you get out, the enjoyment you get out of it?
The enjoyment I get out of it, you stay healthy, it helps you stay healthy, it helps you you're able to protect yourself if you need to. There's a lot of positive outcomes to mixed martial arts, in my opinion.
Do you think that the days of it being considered a barbaric sport, you think that's starting to wane a little bit?
No, I think it's starting to it's not looked down on anymore. The sport's becoming bigger and bigger. We have more and more promotions opening up each year. I don't think it's looked down upon anymore.
Actually, now that you mentioned, North Dakota was I would say pretty good before the pandemic. Kind of killed it off, and then Throne MMA came back. We got to find the fight coming up, and there's other ones popping up. Do you think that North Dakota could become eventually a good hotbed for regional UFC level talent eventually? Once enough people get to showcase their skills.
I do. I truly believe that we all have the potential up here. A lot of strong fighters up this way. And it really helps that Throne and the final fights are now back up in North Dakota here. It helps a lot of fighters get time in the cage.
Mm-hmm. What's your family think about you fighting and your girlfriend and all that?
My mother's not very fond of it. The wife neither.
I'm sorry. I didn't. Sorry, wife.
That's okay. They support me though. They're my #1 fans, and I couldn't do it without them.
I guess I know you said that kind of like this is something you enjoy, but is there anything that's like spiritual or maybe more on that line that also motivates you to fight as well?
No, the only thing that really motivates me is, like I said, I've had a passion for fighting since I was a kid. I was never able to chase it, so now that I'm old enough to make my own decisions, that I'd like to just chase my dream and follow my dream, because a lot of people let their dreams fade away when you get older,
Mm-hmm. Before we finish the interview, I don't know if you have any sponsors, anybody you want to give a shout out to, but I want to give that opportunity to you. The floor is yours.
I do not have any sponsors at the moment, but I'd like to give a big shout out to my wife, my mom, my family, and my brother Edward for helping me out.
And you can see Trenton Beston take on Corey Glinsky. Throne MMA, January 18th, Spirit Lake Casino here in North Dakota. Tickets are available, and if you are not in the state or cannot make out for whatever reason, should be available on pay-per-view hopefully. Trenton, appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yep,
I'm looking forward to your fight, man.